TikTok responds to rumors China wants to ask Musk to buy the platform. Pure fiction. Rob, is that a video clip that we have, or is that just a story? Because it says yellow.
I have an old video clip, but this is Elon Musk being asked about TikTok and the potential ban and his
I'd love to see it. Yeah, go for it.
I can't say I have a strong opinion on TikTok.
So you have an opinion on whether it should be banned or not?
You know, I'm generally against banning things. So I'd probably not be in favor. I mean, it would help Twitter, I suppose, if TikTok was banned, because then people would spend more time on Twitter and less time on TikTok. But even though that would be even if it would help Twitter, I would be generally against banning of.
Very honest answer. Okay, very honest answer on what he's saying there. But let me read this story to you guys, folks, on what's going on here, because TikTok dismissed reports by Bloomberg that Chinese officials were exploring having Elon Musk acquire the U.S. operations to prevent a ban under protecting Americans from a foreign adversary-controlled application app. TikTok stated to Fox Business, "We can't be expected to comment on pure fiction," is what he said. Okay, then there's another one coming up here from Forbes talking about the fact, and also Reuters, TikTok preparing for U.S. Sunday shutdown. Sources all tell Reuters TikTok plans to shut its app up in U.S. For users on Sunday when a federal ban on the social media app could come into effect unless the Supreme Court moves to block it. The outcome of the shutdown would be different from the mandated by the law. The law would mandate a ban only on new TikTok downloads on Apple and Google Apple stores, while existing users could continue to use it for some time. Under TikTok's plan, people attempting to open the app will see a pop-up message directing them to a website with information about the ban. The sources said requesting anonymity is the matter is not public. The company also plans to give users an option to download all their data so that they can take a record for their personal information. They said privately held ByteDance is about 60% owned by institutional investors such as BlackRock, General Atlantic, and while its founders and employees own 20%, it has more than 7,000 employees in the U.S. Tom.
Well, you just covered it there. And so inside all of that you just read, absolutely correct. So is TikTok going off the air on the 19th? No. Is the 19th an important deadline? Yes. That means on the 19th, no new users will be able to download it for the first time because it'll be suppressed from the app stores. So it'll be out of the app stores for Google and for iOS, Apple, starting on the 19th, unless there's an intervention, which there's not going to be right now because the Supreme Court says, nah, we're not going to mess with that. So as of right now, they come down. What's that mean? If you have TikTok, you could keep using it for some time. What is that? Well, that's this interim period there where they have to sort out ownership of U.S. assets. However, 24 hours later, I believe you're going to see a stroke of the pen, and one of the 100 executive orders from Donald Trump is just going to say something very simple. He can't repeal the law that was heading in front of the Supreme Court in the executive order, but you know what he could do? He could basically sign an executive order that says, hey, wait a second. Let's take a little more time to look at this, or let's do this. Or he could sign an executive order saying, I'm asking for a moratorium on the law while the ownership is sorted out. And they'll say, well, wait a minute. That's what the deadline of January 19th was. We were giving them time to sort it out, and they didn't do it. So I think that's what you're going to see. I think Trump's going to intervene, executive order. But I believe, as I predicted, that ultimately, now we got to be careful here, the U.S. assets will go to Musk. I believe Musk is going to put together the deal to pick up TikTok in the United States. Why? Because then if I'm Musk, this is what I would do. I would say on ad sales, I would move the ad rates, and Ford Motor Company comes up and says, hey, we want to advertise our small EVs and some other things on TikTok to people. Great. 70% of your ad buy can be TikTok, but we'd like 25% of the ad buy to be Twitter, X. Oh, yeah. And the rates have just gone up. Yeah. If you have another social media that's similar that you'd like to go spend money there, do it. But my rates just went up. And I think that's normal capitalist response, because that would help X and that would help that. But here's the part to remember. Nobody is talking about the gorilla in the room, which is the algorithm, and does the data leave the U.S. and end up on servers that are inspected and otherwise controlled or accessed by the CCP?
Great.
That is the question that everyone's asking, saying, okay, what if Elon Musk gets the U.S. assets? What about the algorithm that they're using? And does he get that so we can make sure that we know what's going on? And what about all the data? Are we going to close any back doors where CCP, ByteDance, can get their hands on the data for long-term surveillance, long-term database of U.S. customers, or, their own ad redirecting? So don't know. What do you think when you say all this?
With specific to TikTok, look, a part of me thinks, I hope the ban happens on Sunday. And let me explain to you why. Not for the reasons you think. If it happens on Sunday, here's what it means strategically. How many people will be flipping out and who will be flipping out if TikTok is banned on Sunday? Think about age category and demo. Who will be pissed on Sunday?
Gen Z.
What age?
Gen Z,
18
15 to
15, yeah, even
25.
younger.
How addicted are they to TikTok?
Ridiculous.
How important is TikTok to them?
Very
How
important.
a big part of their lives is TikTok?
Yeah.
Huge.
I would
Okay.
argue that their lives have been
And
dramatically altered
Give me
and ruined
sex.
because of
Give me
TikTok.
sex, gender specifically, male or female?
Girls.
I would say
prior-
65%
Female, then male.
Then male.
Okay, so check this out. So imagine 19th, who's the president?
Donald
Donald
J.
Trump.
20th, who's the president?
Donald Trump.
So in the history books, if Joe Biden wants to take credit the fact that Hamas is releasing the hostages and saying, oh, because of me, they're afraid of me. Okay, so guess what?
Lucky guy.
You're the one that shut down TikTok, and then Trump will be the one that opens up TikTok. Imagine that younger generation. They're going to sit there and be like, dude, listen, this guy at least allows that. So in a strategic standpoint, I think it helps on the Trump side. Just like the same way, Elon said, Twitter, TikTok, it helps Twitter, right? So Biden is over here talking about the fact that hostages is because of him. And then they came back and said, no, it's not really because of him. Trump's the one that asking him to stop and all this other stuff. Great. I think that's that part of it. The other part is, I think TikTok's going to be around. For the people that are worried about TikTok, they have nothing to worry about. I would like it not to have anything to do with Byte, not to have anything to do with China. Zero. I want nothing to do with them. I want somebody here to own, and I would like somebody to own it that is not a monopoly. Because if Zuck, and this is the behind closed doors, if you think about how Elon is making this argument to Trump, here's how Elon's making the argument to Trump to allow Elon to own TikTok. You ready? What does Zuck own?
Facebook, Meta,
And what did he buy?
Instagram.
Okay.
And
Is
WhatsApp.
Instagram more comparable to TikTok or Twitter?
Instagram is more like
TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok. And is Facebook more like Twitter or TikTok? Facebook is closer to Twitter.
To X, yeah.
Okay. So guess what? So he's like, dude, he owns Facebook and he owns Instagram. Well, listen, if I own X, you really want to protect the long term? Let me also own TikTok. It's a good argument. It's actually a good argument for Trump to be like, yeah, well, Zuck owns those two. So it's either break all of them apart and a person can only own one of them to have a monopoly law get in place. Or if you're going to allow him to own both, you may as well allow Elon to own TikTok. I think somebody else should own TikTok, if you ask me. I would like to have other people own TikTok, and I would like to have somebody else own Instagram, not have both of them be under Zuck. Just my opinion.
Your Mr. Beast made a video on X, and
I
he
saw
was trying
that.
to say he
Yeah.
wants to get a couple of billionaires
Yeah.
together to purchase it, which would be freaking
I
wild.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And I'd like competition. I'd like competition to see who wants to buy it.
Yeah.
What I would not like to see is Elon Musk buy TikTok. If you haven't noticed this, oligarchy of technocracy and these technocrats where a handful of people just are going to run our country, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, the Elon Musk of the world. I'd like to avoid that. If there's a third person that can come in that could buy TikTok, all right, I'm willing to see that conversation. So just what is it going to be, the Elon Musk versus Jeff Bezos versus Mark Zuckerberg next 40 years? I'd like to avoid that. Maybe there's a different person to come here. But you said that you'd like to see TikTok get shut down Sunday. I would like to do that. There's not a lot of things that I'm not sort of moderate about. I'm pretty reasonable, moderate person. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this. On TikTok, I'm more in the camp of absolutist. I haven't heard any compelling good reasons that we should keep TikTok in this country. There's a little bit of reasons. I haven't heard much other than we believe in free speech. Yeah, in America, we believe in free speech. This is a Chinese-owned company. Nobody's objecting to that. How many social media companies that are owned by American companies are allowed in China? None.
0.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, none of it, none of it, none of it, none of it. So why are we even talking about banning TikTok? Why are we even talking about it? You know, remember when the TikTok CEO went and testified in front of Congress? The
Singaporean.
CEO,
I'm
Schuster,
Singaporean.
and
Yeah.
he's like, I never.
Singaporean.
I don't even know about China. Where's China?
Yeah.
What are we talking about China? Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. So when they have, like, think about the most famous congressional hearings of all time. When there's smoke, there's fire. Watergate. Yeah, it turned out that Nixon knew what he was doing. The 9/11 hearings, turns out there was something going on there. The Iran-Contra affair. We know this building. We know some stuff that's going on there. The college protests. When the university presidents don't. Oh, there's anti-Semitism. Where? I don't see it. What are we talking about here? So when the Facebook hearings, when Mark Zuckerberg had to testify, there's valid reasons for why they're having these congressional hearings. Why we're talking about banning TikTok is because it should be banned.
Right. As long as it's not linked to China, I think we can keep it here.
But it is going to be linked to China.
If it's not, I'm okay.
Okay.
If it is, I have a very big problem. And if I'm Trump's advisor, I am using these next 4 years with leverage to say, if you want ByteDance to own TikTok and be here, you have to let Zuck, Twitter, YouTube, everybody enter into China.
They're never going to do that.
But then guess why are we doing it?
Exactly.
And if there's anybody that can negotiate to get that done, it's
I
who?
agree.
There you go, art of the deal.
What do you think is the biggest concern when it comes to TikTok? Is it the data? Is it the national security? Is it the data privacy? Is it the cybersecurity?
Shaping of the young people's mindset is number one. It's more than anything else.
The algorithm.
For you to destroy the minds of the youth is the way you destroy the future of a country. So it's, I mean, and that's the number one. It's not even close.
So beyond national security, it's shaping and influencing public
National
opinion,
security would have top
rotting
three.
the minds of the kids.
I'd like
the
to get to the next story,
doom
Adam.
scrolling.
I'd like to get to the next
Point
story.
is, it should be banned.
Yeah. Okay. If you're at Valuetainment, we like to make predictions. Okay. And we have a lot of fun with predictions. If you watch the podcast, we make predictions. We play the game of predictions. So, do you think you're pretty good at making predictions? Do you yourself? You're like, I'm very good at making predictions. Well, guess what? We're playing a game. And it's the first 100 days of Donald Trump as a president. And we're playing this game on VTnews.ai with a leaders bulletin, with a contest, with recognition at the end, with prizes at the end. And here's how it works. Every day, VTnews.ai is going to post a prediction for you to make on the website, and you go out there and make the predictions yourself. And by the way, to participate, all you have to do is put your email there. It's free. You don't have to do anything else. For some of you that want to take advantage of all the features that VTnews.ai gives, upgrade, use it. We use VTnews.ai for our podcast all the time. And here's how it works. It's starting today. And the way the scoring system works is, the sooner you make the predictions, like Tom is doing it right now to get the highest scores. Look, he's doing it right now. He's not even waiting for us. Tom's been doing this so fast because he wants to be ahead of everybody. But we're going to show you how this works. So here's 14 predictions that are officially available on the website. Some of them are going to be funny. Some of them are not. And some of them are going to tell you exactly how many points you can get on those if you get them right. There is more points if you answer faster. So if you want to put a reminder on your phone in the morning, each prediction will be posted on the website at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Rob, let's read some of these predictions on VTnews.ai from the top to bottom. And Vinny, Tom, Adam, if you guys want to score your predictions now, you can. Let's go through them.
I'm going to go. Okay.
So number one, I'm not logged in, but we can start it here right now. So number one, how many former presidents do you think will attend Trump's inauguration? Okay. None, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. And if Michelle doesn't show up, it still counts as Obama showing up. So 4 is everybody shows up. 3 is one of them doesn't show up, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Vote.
Number 2, Trump has stated he has 100 executive orders planned for day 1. How many executive orders will Trump execute by the end of January 21st? That's a day after inauguration. You have the breakdown on how many he's going to do. Go to the next one, Rob. Okay. Which Trump cabinet appointee confirmation hearing process will take the longest if they are all confirmed at all? You can pick and choose which ones those are. They're right there. Go to the next one, Rob. What will the state of U.S. border security look like at the end of Trump's first week in office? It gives you options on what to do. 5, what will happen to Truth Social 1 month after Trump takes office? 6, will Trump pardon Snowden the first 100 days? 7, will Trump restart the Keystone Pipeline the first 100 days? 8, how many of Trump's core cabinet members will change within the first 100 days? Will Trump once again remove the U.S. from the Paris Climate Accords in his first 100 days? 10, how will inflation compare on the day 100 versus his first day? 11, will Trump evoke an executive order in his first 100 days to resume construction on the southern border, the wall that he wanted to build? 12, who will receive executive pardons during Trump's first 100 days? Rob, can you open that one up? Because that's 800 points. Wow. And that one, you got a few of them right there. Who do you think is going to get that? Will it be Biden, January 6 rioters, himself, Fauci, Mayorkas, or none of the above? Go to 13. I've got 2 more to go. Will an incident that creates a security concern happen during Trump's inauguration? And last but not least, will Trump take executive action against TikTok in his first 100 days? If you are good at, by the way, behind closed doors, I just want to prepare you guys. Because Tom has an MBA and the rest of us don't, Tom's been talking shit that he's going to kill us in this game because Tom is very good at these types of games. Yep. So if you want to join us, we're going to go all the way to the 100th day, which means the 100th day will be 100 days from January 20th. So it's not going to be done till February, March, April, end of April, okay? Maybe May 1st. And then the winners will have some special surprise and prizes for you guys. So go to vtnews.ai and start posting your predictions now. You do get points the earlier you post. So the second person gets fewer, third fewer, fourth fewer. And the leaders bulletin will be posted with your name there. Make sure your name is there so we can track you. You will see the leaders bulletin of people with the highest scores on their predictions. All right. So let's get right into it. Again, go to vtnews.ai, vtnews.ai to become the Newstradamus. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.